Hey, oh, for all you fitness fans over there. Just had to do that pose, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have Ginger Tyra in the house from First
Move
Fitness. It's still a full moon, you know.
Yeah.
Ginger is here to show us some great moves and how to get out of that chair and make those movements. You've got any new programs coming up first you want to discuss at all?
We have stuff going on constantly.
Yeah.
So our classes, the gym, we have some things coming in now with the physical therapy and chiropractor's office. Doctor's offices come in. We do informational seminars all the time. So there's always something going on.
Oh, yeah. And for us, you know, it's very important that you have all these variety type of classes. I read once, Ginger, now tell me if you know this for a fact, that sometimes if you do the same thing over and over and over, your metabolism actually slows down because it's so used to that exercise, like you have to kind of tease it.
Correct.
By changing your routine.
Yep, that's what they call a plateau.
A plateau.
That's when your body, it becomes an involuntary activity, something you just do on an everyday basis.
So that's important to know. And even for us that might have some physical problems, that you can't do a lot of real pounding cardio for reasons obvious.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Al did have back surgery, and I've had some orthoscopic surgery on my knee. There are so many different exercises that you can be doing, even using your own body weight, correct?
Yes. And a lot of it, too, isn't so much of the weight that you've got to do. It's you want to mimic your everyday activity. That's why we have the classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:30, and again at 11. They're ADLs, which are acts of daily living. So an act of daily living is something that you do every day. Opening the car door, getting in and out of the car, up and down off the couch, up and down off the potty. If these things that you have difficulty with, putting on your jacket, opening a jar, these classes focus on those exercises to help you with going on with life. So it's not necessarily, I want to get big muscles or I want to lose. It's just, I want to be active. I'm tired of having to have help get up off the chair.
Right.
I'm tired of having to have somebody else hand me my other sleeve from my jacket because I can't put it on.
Well, even isn't there an exercise that can help you, even if you accidentally fell?
Yes.
There's a certain way where you can teach. You know, it becomes natural, the movement, if you are taught.
The one thing you want to do is you can't help it. There's times where you're gonna fall. The main thing is if your body is strong enough and your muscles are in shape, when you fall, you're able to get back up, dust yourself off, maybe have a little bit of bruising, some soreness, but you're not gonna have broken bones.
Exactly. Yes.
That's the whole thing. You can't control if something comes in front of you or you snag something and you fall. You can't help that.
That's true.
The main thing is to be able to get up from it and not have an injury and that's caused you now more problems.
Right. What about the idea? I think I was talking about stretches. I think I've been stretching the wrong way.
Different chiropractors, therapists, doctors. I know that my professional industry tells you how to stretch.
Okay.
Anytime that somebody says they're going to stretch their bicep by curling it, obviously they're not stretching it because they're compacting that muscle.
Oh.
So to me, when somebody says, my back hurts, and everybody does this, especially when you get on a long car drive, what's the first thing you do when you get out of the car? You stretch like this.
Yeah.
Are you really stretching your back or are you compounding it even further?
Ooh.
It sounds like you're compounding
yes.
because your muscles are coming together.
So everybody does it, and they don't realize you're making it worse. When in order to stretch something, you need to make it longer. You need to elongate the muscle. So a stretch for the back would be curling and pushing. You can actually feel the stretch through the back more than doing the whole backwards.
Right. Would it be the same like what they call the cat? Or
and then you arc your back up.
It, and
now
then
somebody who's
straighten?
got rods in their back, things like that, they're not going to be able to put that little cat arc in there. So then there's other things I was showing Al earlier that he can use to stretch his low back. A lot of people don't understand that your hamstrings are connected in through underneath your butt muscles and into your low back. They're all connected. It's not like this one's only attached here and nowhere else. So you have to stretch it out, but that also means stretching that hamstring. Believe it or not, stretching your hamstring is going to improve your low back because you're going to stretch it from the other direction.
This is very important information. I mean, we could go on and just tell you all about it, but I mean, there's things that, like I said, I've been active my whole life, but I'm learning something new today too. I mean,
another one,
amazing.
Everybody does this, and I do these tests in my class. They're little agility tests, different stretching tests, just to see what people think. You've been at the computer all day, or you've been studying or whatever, and your neck starts to hurt. What's the first thing you end up doing to stretch your neck out? side to side, tipping back like this, right?
Yeah.
Well, again, now if you think about it, are you
Ouch.
strengthening and stretching the back of your neck, or did you just compound it?
I compounded it. I felt
Yes.
it compound. I mean, it just went.
Yeah. The one thing you should not do is tip your head back. It's one of those no-nos. One, it's
Right.
going to inhibit your breathing because now you're closing off the airway. So, which is to a point a good thing because you're supposed to breathe through your nose, not your mouth.
So what do you do?
Want to see a
Roll?
better stretch? Simply lace your fingers behind the top of your head.
Okay.
And
Everybody at
gently
home,
tip-
let's do it.
Gently tip your head forward. Just give a little pressure.
Without pushing hard,
Yeah,
right?
just gently
oh,
tipping
yeah.
the head.
Oh my gosh, that feels so good.
Do you feel now you're stretching your neck?
That really feels good.
And
I've
you do the
had-
same thing from
yeah.
side to side. Instead of wrapping the head like this and twisting it, all you're going to do is just gently.
I just became my own chiropractor. I felt it crack. That felt good.
Yeah.
And I've had chronic neck pain my whole life too. So just even feeling that, wow.
The other thing that people don't realize is, especially if you're prone to osteoporosis, arthritis, the one thing you don't want to do is fracture a bone in the back of your neck.
Right.
Well, if the curvature in the neck naturally goes in this direction, and then you turn and tip your head back, you're putting even more into it, and the possibility of causing a fracture to the back of the bones in your neck is raised by 50%.
Wow.
You
Now you
have
get
some-
oh.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing. Hey, we figured the same
Like
way. We're on the
minds,
same
great
frequency.
minds, great minds
You
think
have
alike.
some stuff you want us to do.
Yes,
right?
I do.
All
With some
right.
toys.
I have some
Ginger
simple
brought
things.
some toys. Are these
Simple
things that
things.
people can do at their home, or is it better to do it in an environment like yours where you can be observed?
Yes, we
Yes.
prefer that because, again, it's simply, and I'll even show you one very simple,
Okay.
the alignment of the body. And that's what the classes do. We instruct you. We provide everything. You don't have to go get a set of weights.
Right.
You don't have to get a band. You don't have to get a ball. We provide everything. The only thing you need to provide is a smile.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a ball for you,
Aw, that's your color, Al.
and here's a ball for you.
Oh, great. How did you know that was my favorite color?
I picked them to match.
Mm-hmm.
So something is simple. Say you want to work. Women, we've known this for years. We must. So
Oh, yes,
go ahead.
increase
Okay,
our
see,
bust.
the first thing she did is go hold the ball up.
That
You
was
did
the-
exactly what I didn't want people to do.
And that's what we were taught as kids.
Yes. And now they're finding out. So go ahead and hold your ball up like you had it. If you have arthritis, if you have osteoporosis, if you have degenerative bones, if your bone density is lower, you are now looking at possible
Ah,
fractures
because of the
in
way
your
you're
wrist.
holding it.
When the only thing you have to do is drop your elbows.
Like this.
So as soon as you put your elbows in, look
Right.
at now you have a nice straight line,
And then press.
and then press.
Because
you get
your
the exact
wrists are
same
straight.
thing.
And
Yes.
your wrists are straight.
When you do it this way, see the pronation in my wrist?
Got it.
That's putting all that pressure right there in that wrist, which can cause fractures.
Wow.
When all you have to do is drop the elbows.
Okay, you got some more
Not to
stuff?
mention this way, you're also putting tension in that shoulder.
Isn't that where your rotator cuff
Yes.
is?
So
Yeah.
again, all
Yeah.
you do is drop the
Drop
elbows.
The elbow. Okay.
And that's really simple.
What else you got to show us?
Ooh.
Now,
Let's
that I
see, my
have to
ball just
stress,
took
I
off.
agree with what Ginger is saying. Remember, you might want to think, oh, I can do this at home, but really at least go down and do some of their classes to get the right instruction and the right posture. There's so many ways you can hurt
Yes.
yourself if you don't know what you're doing.
Yes,
What is this
and
now?
it's
Oh,
this
I
is an
love the
elastic
rope.
band. They have different strengths. I did bring 3 of different
Okay,
ones.
let's try
The
that.
thickness of the band will give you the little one because I don't want you to hurt yourself. So you should always start with something small.
Ginger, why don't you give the phone number for fitness too?
It's 751 MOVE. So 751-6683.
I think
We're
I can
also,
even remember that number.
We're right behind Nevada State Bank. So the best thing is just to come on in.
Okay.
Right.
Not sure if your viewers know. Most people do know. If you have Senior Dimensions or Humana for health insurance, your membership is paid for by your insurance company. It costs you nothing.
That's a big plus.
Yes.
Okay, so
we
what
also
are we
have other
doing?
plans that are now eligible, and even more coming on in January because everybody knows that everything takes over in January. So
Fabulous.
this one here, see, the first thing you do is step on it. I was just going to show you something that you can do every day at home,
Okay, let's show us.
just like putting on a jacket.
Okay.
A lot of people, see, we should have had you take your jacket off, but then we got all this stuff. When they put on
All
their
that hair,
jacket,
we might not be able to
they
maintain
end up
ourselves.
doing it. Like this is how you put on your jacket at home. You put on a sleeve, and then you spend your time chasing the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you
Yep,
have
yep.
to do it like this to get
Yes.
that other side up there when you can
And you
very
twerk
simply
yourself.
practice the exercises. So
Okay, we got
I
30
need to-
seconds here.
I don't
so
want to
we
hurt
can-
anybody.
Okay, let's
Holding
do it
the
real
band.
quick. As we go out to commercial
Up
break,
like
we're going to
this.
show you what to do.
Use it just like you would to put on a jacket, and you're going to spin it around behind you.
I don't want to get in front of you.
That's what I'm trying-
So if I'm off camera, just that's the
Did I
lie.
do that right?
Just like that.
Okay,
That's
do
the
that
same
again, Al.
exact movement you're going to do to
Wow.
put on your jacket.
Wow.
So that you would be capable of throwing that jacket around, put those
Yeah.
arms in, and be out the door.
Fantastic. And we've got to go to commercial break, but thank you, Ginger.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.